So did Donald Trump mock Jesus? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Conversations Logical Reason. As always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, as y'all know, the left are always trying to find some type of way to demonize Donald Trump. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what he does. They will figure if they can demonize him with it, they're going to do this. You know, it's kind of the same way with the Epstein files. These people believe the only reason why they worry about the Epstein files is because they believe that there's something that they can get in there, find there to implicate Trump. Okay, they were not worried about no Epstein files until Trump was in office. Now all of a sudden they want to release the files. Anyway, Donald Trump's team posted this picture of basically depicting him as somebody healing in a robe. And the left have come out and been upset about that. They say that, well, it's him depicting himself as Jesus, right? As if they really care about Jesus. And, you know, they didn't care about when Jesus was mocked in the Olympics. Oh, they didn't care about that, but now they care about Jesus, right? They say, and also, some people are also saying that there was Baphomet, the sign of Baphomet that was actually secretly placed into the image. Now, Trump has come out and said, it's just simply the picture is what it is, that he's healing America. And of course, well, they had a problem with that as well. They're saying that, well, the doctors don't dress like that. I'm not buying it. They're also saying, you know, so this is not, again, him healing the world. It's basically him mocking Jesus and so on and so forth, and how people who are Christian and religious people should be upset at him doing this. Again, same thing with the mocking, you know, mocking of Jesus at the Paris Olympics, because there was a lot of people who were Christians who were upset about that. Me, myself, and I didn't even watch the Olympics. I stopped watching the Olympics when I saw that. Anyway, so was Donald Trump mocking Jesus? Well, no. Not even remotely. This is something that's being made up, okay? First of all, robes are not a sign of Jesus. Jesus is not synonymous or known with robes. Okay? Jesus has never been a symbol of robes. Robes, basically, there was a point in the history of human beings that robes were a common attire. Around the time Jesus lived, that outfit, the robes that you see Trump depicted in, was something that was a common attire of the day. So this is not something that's based off of Jesus. It's a common attire. You know what I'm saying? If Donald Trump wore a pair of Jordans, so you telling me, is that also mocking Jesus? Like, come on. I mean, and then when they say doctors don't dress like that, well, as I said, that was common attire. Everybody dressed like that at one point in time, including doctors. So yes, I mean, doctors did dress like that at one point in time. Also, then you have the fact that robes have been a symbol of healing in many cultures all over the world. Even today, you know, monks and things, you know, known for wearing their robes and being the healers of the world, the Dalai Lama. So this has been the case in many cultures. So again, robes are a symbol of healing. Now, I will say this, that I do believe that Donald Trump, I always say that he goes overboard with social media. You know, we don't need our president worrying about what some celebrity did on social media, posted on social media. We don't need him commenting on it. Even though, like I said, he did use social media in 2016 to run and get his message out there when the mainstream media wouldn't put his message out there. But it's just, like I said, this is all nonsense. This is all just a bunch of nonsense that somebody, the left, are trying to figure out some way to demonize Donald Trump. You know, and like I said, if Donald Trump wore a Roman, if he wears a Roman soldier uniform, does that mean he's making fun of soldiers today because, well, nobody wears their uniform today. Of course not. Well, they used to at some point in time, but no, people just making a big deal out of nothing. And I would have to say this in closing. People have to stop crying about every little nothing, because when people keep crying about every little nothing nonsense, that means that people stop taking it serious. Okay? No, this was not a mock upon Jesus. This had nothing to do with Jesus. It's just simply a symbol of that says that Donald Trump will heal America, and he will basically fix all the issues that we've had in America. That's just simply what it's saying. And by and large part, he's done a great job of this. Now, I'm not for the war in Iran right now. Again, I haven't seen any real reason, been given any real reason why we should be bombing him. There's only one reason why I would say that we should go in, and if we have evidence that they are trying to produce a nuclear bomb, then we don't want a death cult having nuclear weapons. But beyond that, I'm opposed to this war and attack upon Iran. But by and large, Donald Trump has been a hero of America. He's done a lot of good for America. But this is not a depiction of Trump. People have to stop being upset by it, trying to make a big deal about every little thing. And this is why when they do this, nobody listens. Again, there's the same with the little boy who cried wolf. He cried wolf so much when there wasn't a wolf that when the actual wolf showed up, nobody believed him. So no, in closing, Donald Trump did not mock Jesus in this. Okay, Jesus is not synonymous with robes. And it's always, y'all, until next time.